Hello and welcome back to Understanding Depression, a channel where we dive mindfully into the depths of what it really means to live with depression. Whether you're listening for yourself or to support someone you love, we're here to shed light, offer understanding, and remind you that you're not alone. If you find this episode meaningful, don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, and share. You never know who might need this message today. We all have moments when we put on a smile, even when everything inside us feels off. For some, that smile is a mask. It hides the struggle, the quiet war waging inside. The feeling of emptiness, the exhaustion, the sense of not being understood, it's real. But here's the thing, you're not alone in this. It's far more common than we realize, and it doesn't make you weak or any less of a person. We all wear masks in different ways. Maybe for you it's pretending you're okay at work or with friends when you really feel like you're drowning. Or maybe it's about pretending to be happy on social media to fit in, even though you're really struggling to get through each day. If that's you, I want you to pause right now and know that what you're feeling is valid. And I hope you'll stay with us as we explore this further, because understanding hidden depression is a journey we can take together. I invite you to listen mindfully and to be gentle with yourself as we go through this. Sometimes, people hide their depression because they fear they won't be understood. They fear being judged or misunderstood by their family, friends, or coworkers. It's easier to say, "I'm fine," than to explain the depth of what they're feeling. But I want to remind you, there is no shame in being vulnerable. It's hard to let others in, especially when we've been taught to be strong, to keep going even when it feels impossible. But vulnerability isn't weakness. It's a sign of courage. When we allow ourselves to be seen in our raw, authentic form, we begin the process of healing. And if you're listening to this and wondering, what if I don't want to burden anyone? It's important to remember that reaching out doesn't make you a burden. It's a brave step towards healing. The people who care about you want to know how you feel. And more importantly, they want to help. I encourage you to stay tuned, because understanding why people hide their depression is key to creating a more compassionate world. And we'll be diving deeper into this together. Maya is a fictional example, but so many people can relate to her story. She wakes up every day, gets dressed, and heads out the door, but inside, she feels overwhelmed. She's mentally exhausted before her day even begins. She questions herself constantly. Am I doing enough? Am I enough? If you've ever felt like Maya, where the internal dialogue is harsh and unrelenting, I want you to know that you're not alone. This self-criticism is a symptom of depression, not your true self. Depression distorts the way we see the world and ourselves. If you catch yourself in this cycle of negative thoughts, I encourage you to pause and challenge them. Ask yourself, is this thought true? Is this really who I am? Or is it just a symptom of how I'm feeling right now? It might take time, but little by little, you'll start to unravel those false narratives. And as you listen to this, I hope you'll stay with us, allowing each word to remind you that you are more than what you might think in those tough moments. Now let's talk about the signs. If you're wondering whether someone you know, or even yourself, might be struggling with hidden depression, here are some things to keep in mind. The perpetual, "I'm fine" response. It's the automatic response many people give, because they don't want to burden anyone with their problems. But underneath, they're not fine. They're barely holding it together. Overworking or overachieving. You might see someone constantly striving to be the best, feeling as though they must prove their worth through their productivity. If you're always on the go, you might be running from your emotions. Constant exhaustion. When you're living with depression, you can feel drained no matter how much sleep you get. It's like trying to run a race while carrying a weight on your shoulders. These signs can be easy to overlook, especially if someone is really good at hiding their feelings. But they're important to recognize, especially if you're concerned about yourself or someone you care about. Stay tuned with me as we continue this conversation, and remember, recognizing these signs in yourself or others is an important step toward healing. I'll be with you every step of the way. You've heard the saying, fake it till you make it, right? For many with hidden depression, this becomes their reality. They fake being happy or okay, hoping that one day they'll actually feel that way. But here's the problem. It's exhausting. and eventually it wears them down. We live in a world that celebrates achievement, perfection, and constant hustle. There's a lot of pressure to be the best, to never show weakness, and to keep up appearances. But what happens when the performer is actually struggling? When the person who's always cheering others on is too tired to cheer for themselves? If you've ever felt like this, please know it's okay to take a step back. It's okay to take a breath and say, I need help. You don't have to carry the weight of the world on your own. It's not a sign of failure to admit that you're struggling. It's a sign of strength to ask for support. I hope you'll stay with me as we talk more about how to take that first step toward getting the help you need. We'll keep this conversation open and humble, and I want to make sure you feel supported every step of the way. Social media is a double-edged sword. On one hand, it connects us to others. On the other, it creates a platform for comparison, where we measure our lives against others' highlights. And if you're struggling with depression, this constant comparison can make it feel like you're falling behind. When you scroll through your feed and see others living what seems like perfect lives, it's easy to think, why can't I be like them? But what we often forget is that everyone has their own struggles, and many people are hiding their pain behind their curated posts. Social media is often a snapshot of one part of someone's life, not the full picture. So, if you find yourself getting overwhelmed by social media, try to take a break. Limit your time online. And remember that your worth isn't measured by what you post or how you compare to others. You are worthy simply because you exist. Stay tuned as we continue discussing how social media affects our mental health, and I'll share some tips on how to use it more mindfully. Now, I want to bring it back to real-life examples. Think about the people around you, the ones who seem fine, who show up every day with a smile on their face. The truth is, many of them are holding on to that smile because it's all they feel they have left. There's the teacher who stays late every night to help her students, but when she goes home, she feels empty. Or the athlete who breaks records, but still battles deep depression in silence. These people may look strong on the outside, but inside, they're fighting battles no one else sees. It's important to remember that everyone's journey is different. You may not always see the pain someone is carrying, but it's real. And by acknowledging it, we take away the shame and help create space for healing. Stay tuned and listen closely as we dive deeper into these real-life stories and remind ourselves that we're all connected in our struggles, but also in our healing. When we keep our struggles hidden, we carry that burden alone. But when we open up and talk about it, we invite others to share their experiences too. We create a ripple effect of understanding, compassion, and support. The more we talk about hidden depression, the more we normalize it. We show people that it's okay to not be okay, and that it's okay to ask for help. This is how we begin to break the stigma, by acknowledging the reality of mental health and encouraging open, honest conversations. As you stay with us, I hope this podcast serves as a reminder that you don't have to walk this path alone. Together, we can create a more compassionate world, one where mental health is not hidden but embraced. As we wrap up this episode, I want to leave you with this. Your emotions are valid, no matter how small or insignificant they may seem. You don't have to wear a smile if you're not feeling it. You don't have to pretend to be okay. If you're struggling, I encourage you to reach out. Whether it's a friend, a family member, or a therapist, you don't have to carry the weight alone. Remember, healing starts with taking the first step, being honest with yourself and others. You are enough, just as you are. And as always, if this episode spoke to you, please like, comment, subscribe, and share. You never know who might need this reminder today. I'm truly grateful for your time and attention. Disclaimer: the content shared in this podcast is for informational purposes only and should not be considered a substitute for professional medical advice, diagnosis, or treatment. If you or someone you know is experiencing depression or any other mental health issues, please consult a licensed mental health professional. Always seek the advice of your physician or qualified mental health provider with any questions you may have regarding your mental health. Take care of yourself and take care of your heart. You are not alone.